Today we are going to discuss important questions related to information security. And we'll discuss what cybersecurity sovereignty is about at an industrial or national level, where we can find touch points here, what approaches each of the country has that are represented today at this panel. And we'll discuss the possible touch points for collaboration that can help make our countries not only secure, not only our countries secure, but also the whole world, because everyone, by contributing something of their own to security, is bringing the bright digital future without attacks and cyber incidents closer. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Artem Sychev. I'm the advisor to the CEO of Positive Technologies, and I'll be moderating this discussion. Let me introduce our participants. Representatives of the Republic of Uganda, Dr. Baryomunsi. Please welcome. Syrian Arab Republic is represented today by Dr. Alemayehu. Republic of Ethiopia, Dr. Adde. We have another representative of Ethiopia here, the representative of Ethiopia's capital city, Addis Ababa, Mr. Yamane. UN Economic Commission for Africa is represented by a representative of Senegal, Dr. Sek. The Republic of Cameroon, Professor Bell. Burkina Faso, Mr. Quayent. The Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Mr. Mustafa. And the Russian Federation is represented by Irina Pantina, also from Positive Technologies. Yes, the organizers are asking me to allow them to make a small technical announcement. Colleagues, we're running simultaneous interpretation. The headsets can be taken from the outside because presentation will be in Russian and English and in French.
My all English-speaking friends, we will have simultaneous interpretation today. The receivers for the interpretation are available outside on the white table. Don't hesitate to take them. English channel is number 2. Pour mes amis francophones, il y aura de l'interprétation simultanée aujourd'hui. La chaîne française est la chaîne numéro 3. Les récepteurs sont disponibles à l'extérieur de la salle.
Meus colegas brasileiros, não estou vendo ninguém aqui, mas eu espero que vocês estejam aqui também. Não se esqueçam que o nosso canal de português é número 4. Obrigada.
So that's all with technical announcements. Introductions have been done. Let's now proceed with the discussion. So the first question that we would like to discuss today is how to become vendor-agnostic for a government, for a state, to implement national cybersecurity. So that's actually a bit of a trick question, but I think that we'll try to sort it out. So perhaps I would first like to give the floor to the representative of Uganda.
Thank you very much. As earlier introduced, my name is Baryomunsi, the Minister in charge of ICT and national guidance in Uganda. Let me start as part of the opening that we in Africa, Uganda inclusive, are still in the earlier stages of digital transformation. And when we come here, we come to learn, to pick lessons, especially from countries like Russia and the others that are fairly more developed and advanced in terms of technological revolution. And therefore, we are happy to be here, to be able to share lessons, to learn, and be able to get back into our countries and improve our systems. We do appreciate the advances in technology, but also we acknowledge the downside of technology like cybersecurity concerns, which are increasingly becoming real within our setting. And we are trying to do everything possible to see that we address these issues. We are still low in terms of digital sovereignty. We still depend on systems that we import from other countries. And increasingly, issues of cyber attacks and cyber crimes are affecting our systems. And we are trying to build our own capacity in terms of infrastructure, in terms of software, in terms of training, because we have to raise levels of awareness within our population, within the government and the government workers in order to contain some of these threats and build an effective defense system against these cyber-related crimes.
Спасибо большое. Ну, действительно, взгляд такой.
Thank you very much. Indeed, it's an interesting take on the subject. And indeed, what brings us all together is about the cyber attacks that our infrastructures are suffering from and our enterprises. Perhaps the Russian Federation stands a little bit apart in this respect. The recent events has brought us to a situation where we experience such a swarm of cyber incidents that nobody else in the world has ever experienced. But nevertheless, we were able to survive, and it's one of the areas where we could share our experience, how we did that. But I would now like to ask the representative of the Syrian Arab Republic, what do you think about this?
Yes, hello everybody. Actually in Syria, you know, because of the long-term war that we had, we are now experience a lot of attacks every day. And we have our own experience in CM and cybersecurity because no one wants, especially from the borders, no one wants to cooperate with us. We have some friends like Russia, like China, but we do the best in order to make these attacks stop, and we make best efforts in order to cooperate with other countries, with our friends, to share information and share malware threats and data sets that we can use in order to prepare ourselves to defense from these attacks. Okay, thank you.
Да, понятно. Спасибо большое.
Okay, got that. Thank you very much. Let's continue this discussion. And I would now pass the floor to the representative of the Republic of Ethiopia. Colleagues?
Okay, sorry. Thank you very much. By the way, thank you very much for the positive technologies for inviting us to be here with you guys in Russia. We call Ethiopia as a motherland, and usually we call Russia as a fatherland. So Russia is a father, and so we like we are very happy to be here. Regarding today's topic, our government is more concerned on cybersecurity because we have started the digital transformation long years back. By the way, I'm state minister who is responsible for ICT and digital transformation in Ethiopia. So the digital transformation has been running for long years, and to achieve that digital transformation agenda, we have developed a strategy, Digital Ethiopia 2025 strategy. On that digital strategy, we have identified 4 pillars. One of the pillars is cybersecurity. So when we talk about digital transformation, we have to protect the digital ecosystem. So without protecting the digital ecosystem or the digital vulnerability, so we are prone to attacks. So as we are located in the Horn of Africa, there is a lot of geopolitics around there. So we are open for attacks, whether it is cyber or geopolitics. So we are protecting the whole ecosystem, the whole country from cyber or geopolitical issues. So when we focus on the cyberspace is very prone to that attack, as we are entering and working towards achieving our digital transformation. So for that, we have established an institute which is called Information Network Security Administration, which has been working for more than 20 years. Now we have expertise on cyber issues. So that institute is specifically mandated to cybersecurity. So we have to protect the cyberspace. We believe that we have to have our own infrastructure. We have to have our own systems so that we can be, we will protect from the vendor-specific or vendor-locking problems, or products which are coming from outsider will be open for cyber attacks by design, even by design. We believe that. So that for that, we are developing our infrastructure, even the key infrastructures, and protecting that by developing these issues. So maybe I think that we have a limited amount of time. So I will as an introduction, I think it's enough. Then I will come back later. Thank you.
Спасибо большое. Действительно.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. This dependence on foreign solutions carries certain dangers, hazards in terms of information security. So we as Russian Federation have encountered that, and so we'll discuss that in a little bit more detail later. The next introduction, word of introduction will come from the representative of the Republic of Senegal. What do you think about this subject?
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you also for inviting United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. I represent the UN for this meeting, but my nationality is Senegalese. I'm living in Ethiopia, where we have the headquarters for Africa. Now, why cybersecurity is very important for Africa? First, African countries have made a lot of progress on digital transformation since maybe 10 years. But we are lacking behind on connectivity, 37%, the least continent connected in the world. And in addition, we are facing a lot of challenge on cybersecurity. All nations of Africa have this challenge. Why in 2022, the cybersecurity attack cost 10% of the Africa GDP. It's a lot. And with the 10%, what we can do in Africa, we can build school, we can build hospital, we can move a lot of people from poverty. And why we need this kind of forum to discuss, to exchange ideas, to see what we can do to overcome to this challenge for Africa. And we conduct study last year on the cybersecurity maturity in Africa. If we can increase 10% of the cybersecurity maturity for Africa, we can increase the GDP according to several countries from 0.6% to 5%. Why the correlation between cybersecurity and GDP is very, very, very important. But Africa, all African countries are not at the same level. But in general, we have three key priorities for Africa. First, it is a policy and legislation. How we can learn from Russia to put in place at the national level a sound policy on cybersecurity. Of course, in Africa, we have this Malabar Convention, is a strategic for African Union, but we need to look at the country level what we can do. Second, on capacity building is very important. And capacity building, we need to tailor this capacity building according to the needs at the country level. The third point, it is the implementation of the CERT. It's very important because a lot of African country doesn't have this. And also there is a new issue, it's not in Africa, but in the world, this issue of cyber diplomacy. It is something we should look at the African level, how we can collaborate with you. Of course, we talk about a lot on this attack using this drone, and we have the same problem in Africa, in the Sahel region also. The terrorists use this cyber attack. We have it in the Al-Shabaab. We have several parties in the continent, and we need to find a solution. It is my introductory remark. Thank you very much.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you very much. You know, the questions that you have just addressed are in many ways close to the Russian Federation. And in spite of perhaps a larger coverage with information technologies and networks, we are facing exactly the same problems when it comes to organizing information security across the country. So the experience that we have in the Russian Federation, yes, perhaps it will be useful for African countries. And the next speaker will be the representative of Cameroon, all the more so that we've already discussed this question with Dr. Bell last year at the Russia-Africa Forum. Well, perhaps something has already changed in Cameroon since that time.
Merci à Positive Technologies pour une fois de plus d'organiser et de présenter l'intérêt sur cette question aussi importante que la cybersécurité. Alors, ma première intervention sera une remarque ou quelques observations sur l'état de l'évolution et de besoins en cybersécurité. On observe que depuis que les services digitaux se diversifient et se développent, il y a eu un développement asymétrique. On a constaté que dans certains pays, il y a eu un plus grand développement, et puis dans d'autres pays, un peu moins. Cela crée une certaine dépendance qui peut-être justifie le point central de la thématique d'aujourd'hui, la question de souveraineté, parce que ces pays qui ont très vite développé la technologie de l'information, les grosses entreprises et multinationales, ont pratiquement aujourd'hui un grand contrôle sur la circulation de l'information, les services de l'information, par rapport à d'autres pays. Donc, du point de vue stratégique, ces pays peuvent déstabiliser les autres. Et quand on se pose la question de sécurité, de sécuriser le cyberespace, qui est devenu la quatrième dimension géopolitique dans presque tous les pays, on comprend que la question de sécurité est directement liée à celle de la souveraineté. Donc, il faut limiter le gap sur la dépendance des produits et services venant des autres pays. Équilibrer un peu. C'est le grand challenge de la plupart des pays aujourd'hui. C'est le combat également au Cameroun, comme dans la plupart des pays, d'essayer de faire le maximum pour augmenter la qualité de la formation, créer de plus en plus des entreprises pour réduire la dépendance aux produits et services numériques des pays qui potentiellement pourraient ne pas être des pays amis. Donc cette question de souveraineté est une question importante et une question centrale dans l'ensemble des questions liées à la cybersécurité. Donc voilà ce que je voulais dire pour toucher un peu la question de souveraineté déjà en entame. Merci.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And now the floor goes to the representative of the Republic of Pakistan. So you're welcome.
Thank you to Positive Technologies for hosting this event, inviting all such a good panel of discussions. As far as Pakistan is concerned, Pakistan is a developing country. However, technology has been growing at a very fast pace in Pakistan. And the cyber attacks in Pakistan, they have now taken a very steep rise. The first cyber attack that I witnessed in Pakistan was back in the year 2002. The intent or the motives of cyber attacks back 25 years ago have changed drastically. And the nature of attacks have created room for creating a national level policy to address this, since it's expanding at a very large pace. In Pakistan, the government has recently passed cybercrime laws. There is extreme development, and now legislation is being on way so that the infiltrators can be treated properly and in a just manner through law enforcement agencies. As far as development on cyber front in different sectors in Pakistan is concerned, the financial industry and the telecom industry, they have matured quite a bit in terms of cybersecurity. However, there is a lack of national cert and other sectoral certs in Pakistan, due to which integrated approach to dealing with cyber criminals, it's missing out. But as we speak, on a national level, there are emergent measures being taken to ensure that cybersecurity challenges on a national level can be dealt in a very clean and clear manner.
Да, спасибо большое. Действительно.
Thank you very much. Indeed, the problem of setting up and running both industrial and national certs is a very interesting subject. Let me just give an example based on Russia's example. If we look back, maybe sometime in 2014, 2015, the level of attacks on financial organizations was quite high. And one of the results, one of the tools to fight that was to create an industry cert that was FinCert of the Bank of Russia, which is still running as part of the central bank, which led to the level of theft in banks going down considerably. So over the past 4 years, we haven't seen any serious theft in large banks because they're already forewarned about the methods and tools used by the wrongdoers. And of course, when the Russian Federation experienced an absolutely unprecedented pressure of this hacktivism in 2022. The first strike hit the banks, and banks survived. So no service interruptions happened. Therefore, indeed, I think this subject has a large potential for discussion, I think, and Russia surely has something to share in this area. We've got quite a lot of interesting experience. But I think that we can now move on to the next question, that we have on the agenda about creating a technological expertise within the country and the level of enterprise and industry expertise. This question has already been addressed by colleagues from Ethiopia and Senegal, but I think we can discuss in more detail now. So therefore, once again, it gives me pleasure to give the floor to the representative of Uganda.
Once again, we are happy to be part of this discussion and to having been invited to the beautiful city of Moscow. Well, in Uganda, as many colleagues have said, over the last 10 or so years, there has been a lot of progress registered in terms of being part of the digital revolution. And we have a number of universities, for instance, and tertiary institutions that do offer courses in computer science, in information technology, and the areas related with cybersecurity are part of the components which are taught within the educational system. And also you find there are other companies, technology companies, that offer training to Ugandans, including government workers. But overall, there is a need to build additional capacity in terms of knowledge, in terms of awareness, in terms of deeper appreciation of cybersecurity-related concerns. So more work needs to be done in the country to raise the level of awareness, to raise competencies, to raise the knowledge, and as technology advances, for people to appreciate the need to prioritize questions of cybersecurity. So much as trainings go on through the formal education system and through specific trainings, but more work needs to be done, especially linking with countries like Russia and other areas so that we can have advanced training on how we can manage some of these issues. We also need to strengthen the regulatory framework, the policies. Yes, we have policies in place, but they need to be strengthened in light of the fact that technology keeps changing. You find some of the technologies which we use must be updated, must be made more modern, and therefore even the hackers, the cyber criminals keep changing tactics, so we must move fast to also be able to contain these cyber crimes because of the sophistication within technology. And therefore, as we hold these discussions, we do hope that we are going to strengthen the ties, the partnerships. If there can be a way of skills transfer where we can get training for our people, where if there are new technologies, new infrastructure, how we can get it from the global north to the global south to Uganda so that we build capacity. Because technology is the way to go. The future is digital, but we must also strengthen the capacity for all of us to enable us to deal with these issues of cyber insecurity. Yes.
Спасибо большое. Thank
you very much. You mentioned a very important point, education and regulatory legislative basis. These two things create a foundation basis for the development of not only IT, but cybersecurity as well. Let me give the floor to Irina briefly so that she tells us what about our Russian approach in this area.
Работает. Коллеги, добрый день.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I would like to make 2 points here. in our country, in our company, we do have experience that we're going to share. The experience can be gained by two ways. You may learn on your own errors, or you may go and see what others did to avoid those errors. You can take foreign experience and adapt it to your local conditions. You have to be careful because legislative basis is different in each and every country. What are we doing now? Of course, we closely cooperate with our regulators. In different countries, they are different. In this country, we have from 3 to 5 government agencies who can impose their rules in the area of cybersecurity, industrial security, critical information security, and so on. So we need a balance between all those agencies to be accurate, to be precise, to monitor real threats, real trends. We are a commercial company helping to repulse cyber attacks, and all our products must comply with regulatory policies so that we could not just motivate our customers, the companies that have to be protected, but also to demonstrate a good example of compliance, because sometimes best practices require a lot of effort. As you said, it's important to have highly skilled specialists, those who are going to protect your companies, build appropriate processes. And our companies have several, and the countries also have several ways to go. It may be either complete copying of the programs, educational programs that exist elsewhere, and in that case, if they have some errors and problems, we're going to inherit those problems if we copy 100%. And we shall have the same issues as other countries. So the regulatory things and the educational things should be adapted, very carefully adapted and implemented, taking into account the limitations and the peculiarities of the countries where such expertise is placed. Thank you very much. So, national expertise is very important for the Syrian Arab Republic. So, can you say a few words?
Yes. Actually, I think we speak here about advanced experts, not the normal experts, because we can get the normal experts in security from the universities and the training that they can have in their workplace or by their own work on themselves. So for advanced experts, I think in Syria there is a little of them because of the war and because most of the Syrian experts traveled outside Syria because of the economy problems. But we are separate the training between into two parts. The first part is the advanced training for small amount of experts that will lead the security operation in Syria and that are responsible for finding the attacks and troubleshoot them and then defense from them and making some kind of knowledge for others in order to make other experts. The other kind of training is for some kind of employees and engineers that are responsible for implement the security regulations and the security issues wanted in every part of every organization and every agency in Syria. Those engineers are trained by experts from outside Syria. We get experts from friend countries like Russia, and we can make some labs for them. And we success in that. We success having a good experts in security for the both kind of trainers. Thank you very much.
Yes, that's a good approach, actually, when you don't train the student, but first you have to teach the teachers, the future teachers, instruct the instructors, which helps you raise competence in general inside the country. Especially if you speak about the capital cities. I want to give the floor to the representative of Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, which also has a great need in high-skilled specialists.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I am from Ethiopia, from capital city of Africa as well, not only Ethiopia. My name is Yeshurun, and I'm Deputy Bureau Head for ICT of Addis Ababa. Just as everybody has mentioned earlier, just to work on individuals who are capable on cybersecurity expertise. We are doing a lot as a country. We are working as a national. There are governmental structure, which is legally established. As my colleague from the ministry has mentioned earlier, we do have ministry, then we do have specifically National Intelligence, Cybersecurity Intelligence Administration, which is called an INSA, and which is specifically working on this area, cybersecurity area. It works on cyber talent. There are individuals who are capable of doing cyber stuffs, and they are go to the institution and register and work on cyber security, and they can even do the similar stuff what we have seen here in Positive Technology, doing blue and red team stuff like that, and then there are individuals who are going to be hired at that institution as well. So we are doing in specialization on cyber talents as a country. Of course, as a city administration, when I tell you an experience, just we are doing an incubation center as a city. We are gathering talents, individuals, and we have established the department, cybersecurity department, which overtake every incident happening in the city and every attack, and they are analyzing and they are protecting themselves if they can. If it is beyond their capacity, they are going to report to the National Cybersecurity Administration. So collaboratively, we are working together and protecting our infrastructure as well as our system. The main problem in our country, when I tell you as experience, is that just as not only as a city, as country as whole, we do have an experience of consuming or establishing the infrastructure, systems, applications, but there is no priority for cybersecurity. of course, in government and the private sectors. Of course, we can procure even the cybersecurity part, including the infrastructure we are procuring as it is, and we are using individuals who are experts, and of course most of it is done by outsourcing, not by expertise within the institutions. So for that matter, we do have a government who is a pro cybersecurity as well as pro ICT. So the government has took its plan, has put 6 pillars. For one of those pillars is ICT, giving an ICT attention for every sectors, and establishing in every institutions, and working on generation on cyber security. Of course, we do have a lot of experience in cyber attacks, as my colleague have mentioned earlier. A lot of attacks coming from outside, not only from outside, internal attacks are already there. Individuals are very much passionate, expert. No, individuals from when they are small children are very much highly eager on such kind of stuff, right? So they can do, and they can even internally attack and try their own best to see themselves as better. There are a lot of experience right there, but just to gather and collect these kids, and we are starting the incubation experience. In our case, of course, we are working with the ministry. The guys already, as he mentioned. So this is the way what we have done. And the most important thing is collaboration. Just having experience, as one of the speakers said, collaboration is very much important. Having experience, capacity building is, even working with positive technology, working in Russian government. As my colleague have mentioned, we are very much close, and we have to work together and take experience. Of course, cybersecurity is a global language. That's what I mean to say. Thank you.
Yes. When I listened to you, I paid attention that it's necessary to educate and motivate cybersecurity specialists, because a hacker is always motivated by financial issues. And it seems that a hacker is somebody rich, somebody interesting, somebody unusual, and it's very interesting to motivate security people. The process of protection is much more complicated than an attack, and it is much more interesting. What about education and building sovereign solutions in Cameroon?
Merci de plus m'avoir passé la parole. Je pense que le besoin en ressources humaines, le capital humain, c'est la chose la plus importante pour la cybersécurité. À partir même de la définition de la notion de cybersécurité qui s'entend comme la gestion du risque cybernétique, on voit le mot central, c'est la gestion. La gestion est une question d'esprit humain, puisque la gestion a besoin de fixer les objectifs, mais les objectifs qui ne sont pas universels, qui dépendent de ses propres intérêts, de ses propres motivations. On ne peut pas automatiser. Donc il faut que l'homme soit là, il faut qu'on fasse appel à l'esprit humain. Même si c'est la gestion d'un environnement technico-opérationnel, le point central, c'est la gestion. Donc, le capital,
even if it is operational management, management is most important. Management is number one. We shouldn't save money on people. We have to invest in the people, because the people should be of top quality. Then and then only cyberspace will be secure. Second point is organizational issues, because it's related to human capital. We have to organize everything in the right way. We have to organize how to organize it, who understands this, a human being. Education. Education should be financed properly. And point three, operational things. Fast reaction. People work, but they implement a strategy of the company in the area of cybersecurity. What do we see at each and every level? We see people, people, and again people. We don't always have enough money for cybersecurity, but at least if you have 50% human capital, 30% organizational issues, and the rest technology. 50% of the budget should be investment in the people. It's not a matter of saving the money, and we do not save the money in this area. The people and the tools that are needed to boost our capabilities. We boost capabilities. Well, it may be difficult to motivate people for cybersecurity, but motivation can be achieved only by talking to the people. We cannot program people. A programmer should have not only hard skills, but also soft skills. So a human being is not something to be saved on.
Аплодисменты — это как раз один из...
Warm wave of applause. Yes. When we talk about security, we have to think about a human being, about who is going to implement security. Yes, we have to develop not only the skills, the technical skills, the hardware skills, software skills, but also soft skills like talking skills. So social engineering is a problem in Russia now. But I would like to listen to the position of the Republic of Pakistan.
This is very interesting. If I recall, when I graduated from college, there was no subject being taught on cybersecurity. The maximum we had was just network security. And today, when we are hiring fresh resources, we get all kinds of skills. It is governance risk, then we have penetration testing, and the list goes on. In Pakistan, on a global level, if we talk about cybersecurity, jobs are very much there. Pakistan is producing a lot of cybersecurity courses, and students are, constantly graduating and coming into the practical world. And with the global demand, these students are getting sucked out of Pakistan, leaving lesser people in Pakistan to deal with such things. However, motivation, which was rightly picked up, is being provided to those students to ensure that they are able to be part of the society and provide productive things to society from the cybersecurity front. On the national level, there is a lot of awareness being generated on the topic of cybersecurity. And like you just mentioned about social engineering, we also have programs which are run on a national level. And these programs even address the elderly people who are using mobile phones, and they are very much unaware of the cyber risk associated with the mobile phone through SMS, through WhatsApp, through phishing. So there are many things that have to be catered to. In my personal opinion, when a young student graduates, we cannot expect him to know everything from day one. He has to be trained. And training and providing those skills is a responsibility of various sectors that have to provide him the opportunities so that he can apply his learnings. And in doing so, something which can really enhance his learning is collaboration. And if I talk about positive technologies and my visit here, I think it really opened the door for collaboration on different fronts, because different countries are facing different kind of cyber attacks. And that knowledge has to be transferred or shared among professionals so that the development of cyber professional on a global level can happen on a much better note, so to say. On a national level, multiple internship programs are being generated into Pakistan. So as students are graduating, it's a 4-year program for a bachelor's degree. So every year we induct young students and make us part of our organizations and ensure that they are given the right tools and are given the right exposure so that they can develop their learnings at a much faster pace. Because as the digitalization globally is expanding, so is the technologies. And these people have to graduate in terms of cybersecurity skills at a very fast pace. So red teaming, blue teaming, both sides are very critical. And it's our responsibility as a cybersecurity professional. I think it's my responsibility as well to ensure that I share whatever my learnings are. And on a global level, I believe these sharing platforms and collaboration platforms, they can really help us develop a better world altogether.
Yes. Thank you. That's true. That's very interesting and important. The more so that I listened to you and I realized that each country has its peculiarity. But in general, if we talk about our citizens, much is the same. Same phishing attacks, same social engineering attacks through mobile apps, through mobile phones, and it's related to the fact that technologies are developing very fast, and we are not used to them. So apart from new technologies, we have to have new cyber hygiene, if you like. But we are moving on, and we shall protect our citizens against social engineers. The question is about education and skills upgrade. The question is to the United Nations.
Thank you very much. I think we all panelists raise this important issue of education. But it's not only education, basic skills or high-level skills. We need to educate everyone and everywhere. Because cybersecurity is not the issue of government, private sector, it is an issue for all. And when you come to Africa, we have a serious gap on cybersecurity competency because now we are at 0.21 out of 1. We need to build the capacity of a lot of people to be ready, what we call for the 4th industrial revolution. But we need also to have a program on awareness campaign for the citizen to understand very well what are the challenges they are facing when they use internet, when they use this online service. It's very important for the citizen. When we look at some analysis in Africa, 40% of the victim of the cyber attack will not report. It is because they don't have the capacity, the background, or the skill to report, or for their dignity for as a social issue. It is something I think we can see how we can you can support African country, and African can learn from the experience of Russia. Because yesterday, if you were there, it was full. Here you have too many people. All these people didn't work on cybersecurity. We have people from any sector come for this festival. I think it is something very important for the country. The second thing also, it is on the legislation. I think we need to build the capacity of the decision maker on the legislation. Because around only 25% of African countries have some legislation on cybersecurity. We need to sensitize this policymaker to put in place this policy regulation for cybersecurity. Also, when we put in place this policy, it's not only for the country level, because cybersecurity is across the world. we need this collaboration. It's very important. Collaboration, partnership is very important to fight the cyber attack. Another point, extremely important, we have to look at it is, of course, capacity building, but there is this cooperation, collaboration between African countries is very important, between the several CERT put in place in the continent. It is why we are establishing now at UN a center of excellence and research and coordination on cybersecurity in Africa, in Togo. And we start now the establishment of the center, and we welcome all partnership with Russia for this center of excellence on cybersecurity. We already established one center on artificial intelligence in Congo, Brazzaville. And also there is one component on cybersecurity, given this, this evolution of this AI technology, as well as this chat GPT. And also we are open to see how we can collaborate with Russia company on this center of AI. It is something I would like to highlight, but let's focus on capacity building for all and everywhere in the continent. Thank you.
Действительно, вы правы.
Well, indeed, you're right. When you're talking about the need broad information awareness for the citizens, and perhaps one positive technologies missions is in that we are building a certain community of those people who are doing information security, and we would like our products, if they go outside Russia, so they shouldn't just go there, but so that they should leave with the same mission of creating this kind of community, because they are addressing the second task, the awareness, providing awareness for the citizens. And here, this festival, this cyber festival that we're running these days here in Moscow is one of such social missions that we pursue in the area of information security. The more there are people aware of information security, the less they are prone to become victims of the wrongdoers. But colleagues, I think it's time for us to move to the next question. And I would combine it, perhaps I would combine two questions together, touching upon the subject of national certs that has already been mentioned here. So it's clear that a center like that is needed. We've all spoken about that. But how do you see the interaction of this cert with other certs, both inside the country and outside the country? So it's about its functioning and interaction with counterparts. So let's try and discuss this. And I'm happy to give the floor to the representative of Ethiopia first.
Okay, thank you. To forward my view, as my colleague said, as you all said, cyber is everywhere, and it is a concern of everyone. So everyone has to talk and has to discuss and has to collaborate with each other to protect ourselves from cyber attack. So regarding that topic, the idea that raised. To do that, it has to be, there are a lot of means to collaborate on this. One is, as you have said, education. The education can be, or the education with the capacity building can be in terms of formal education, from lower grade to the hire professionals from bachelor to masters and a PhD in the area of starting from computer science or information technology, then specializing in the stream of cybersecurity or information security. Then when coming to informal education, we can be like organizing these kinds of conferences, workshops, events that build skills of professionals, and professionals can learn from different countries' experience and different professionals' experience that can help to develop new areas that hackers or cyber thefts can explore. So, and the other is mentorship, mentoring juniors by seniors. So we have experience on that. So senior professionals will train the juniors, and then they will build or they will explore new areas or new arenas on the cyberspace. And the other way of having a new technology, new way of cyber protection is for students, for example, giving them apprenticeship or internship experience, so they can learn from industries or from research institutions that new cyber technologies or cyber thinkings are available, and they will explore, they will add their expertise, and they will explore more new things. Then the cyberspace or the cyber protection will increase, the cyber profession will be developed, and we can secure the national security of the country, not only the cyberspace. So doing this, we can maintain our digital paths. So nowadays, all countries are interconnected. Some are dominant in the technology that they have. Those who do not have technology or who are dependent on other countries' technology are prone to different problems. So sharing these kinds of experience and bringing collaboration with international partners, especially strong partners like Russians, especially for us, like developing countries, so we can learn and we can protect ourselves. So this will help to see the future, and to develop ourselves to cope up with the situation what we are prone. So, in my opinion, having collaboration, strengthening education, different kinds of education, and learning experience from others, we can develop ourselves. Regarding the experience of Ethiopia, I will give an incident in cyber attacks that we faced as an example. Maybe we will learn from that. Once upon a time, there is a cyber attack on an industry, a cement industry. The attack was coming from outside the country, and their intention was to disrupt the chemical composition of the cement. So that cement is used for building our Renaissance, our huge big dam. That dam is it is a political issue for some of the regions with us. So if that happened, and if that was successful, then we failed building our dam. So luckily we have identified the incidents, and then we followed, and then we cut off the network, and then we adjusted that one. So these kinds of incidents show that cyber is everywhere, not only on the cyber space. It will hit even our life, personal life. So because we are using our mobile phone, that mobile phone has lot of information, maybe our health information, our family's information, our every information. So if someone has that information, if gets that information and uses for abusing the data or the information on that phone, then it will disrupt personal life even. So we have to consider like that. We have to train. We have to create awareness. So we have to talk. We have to talk much more about cyber, and then we will protect ourselves. Thank you.
Спасибо большое. Действительно.
Thank you very much. Indeed, it's not just about education or training. I would expand it even broader. Information exchange about incidents, about the attributes, about the wake these incidents leave behind them. That allows countries who have this collaboration developed in the normal level to respond quite fast and effectively. I can, as an example, I can talk about the interaction between Russia's central bank and Brazil's central bank. So the wrongdoers captured some resources from a commercial bank residing in Brazil and used it as like a vehicle to attack a Russian bank. The interaction with each of the banks was very difficult because everyone believed that they were right. But when two regulators exchanged the information, then the situation found a resolution quite quickly. This is one of those examples how CERT can help resolving problems, showing that yes, if we are dealing with distributed attacks that we can prevent, we have to do it. We must do it. And this will for sure bring benefit to both countries. So I think that I'm sure that my colleagues from the Syrian Republic have some ideas about that. So I'm passing the floor to Syria. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Actually, your question has two parts. The first part is how to, or about the cooperation between different CERTs within the country, and the second part is between CERTs of different countries. Actually, unfortunately, we don't have CERTs until now in Syria. We have SOCs and CMs, but we make the cooperation between different SOCs and CMs as we have a single authority by law that is responsible to lead all the CERTs in Syria. It is responsible to give approval to make any security solutions for different sectors, private sectors or public sectors or government sectors. So when we have an attack at each CM in Syria, this authority will be informed, and it will lead the troubleshooting, and it will lead the defense of this attack, and then information about this attack will be redistributed between different CERTs and between different CMs and SOCs in Syria. We depend on our analysts. We depend on our personal work, hard work, and we have different teams distributed in different locations in Syria. This is about how we used to work with different CERTs within Syria, but about cooperation between the Syrian SOCs national Syrian SOC and other countries, we have some friends and we have some agreements with friend countries, and we share information between us, and we have some rules in order to give them the information about the attacks we have, and this about the attacks we see, We don't know what we didn't see. And we have some agreements with other countries that they give us information about attacks or expectation about some attacks, and we cooperate with them. Maybe we can learn from other countries, from best practices in other countries, how to cooperate. But for this time, we only have agreements with friend countries. Thank you very much.
Хорошо, спасибо большое.
Okay, thank you very much. How are things going about these things in Pakistan?
In the start, I mentioned that Pakistan has just recently started putting up the national cert, and they plan to put up sectoral certs. Up till now, certs formed on, if I may say, on WhatsApp groups have been active in Pakistan. So for the financial sector, that formation has been very useful. As it happens, there are more than 45 banks in Pakistan, and almost 50% of them are using the same core banking application. So an attack on one bank through these groups, we were able to know that which other banks are susceptible. So these certs are very effective in curtailing the cyber attacks, and not just curtailing, but also identifying which APTs are actually after you. So there are multiple APTs out there in the world, and not every APT is probably interested in Pakistan. Probably some have motives to conduct such things. So sectoral certs in Pakistan, they are in the process of formation. And with the national cert, I believe that a national emergency response can be formed, and it can ensure that it can help us ensure standardization of cybersecurity controls across different organizations and sectors. On the international front, we don't have any such collaboration on the international front. However, we do have threat intel platforms that give us access to dark web. And through that, we are able to understand or learn how things are happening on an international level with regards to any industry. So in my case, I've been very actively following those things for financial sector and telecom sector. And in telecom sector also, it so happens that there are 4 or 5 big groups that run different telecoms in different countries under different names. So getting back to what you were, what the topic was, certs and sectoral certs and international collaboration, I believe this is very crucial and important, and it can really help us reduce the response time for any attack, and learnings from other similar sector organizations can really help other organizations that are working in the same sector. Thank you.
Да, действительно, вот весь мой опыт в информационном...
Yes, indeed. All my experience in information security prompts me that you can do build as many security lines, use any kind of tools, and send as many people as possible there. But unless you've got information about an attack in a timely manner and you haven't been able to respond to it, then all the software, all these systems turn into a pile of scrap metal. But I would like to ask the same question to the representative of the United Nations Economic Commission. How do you believe in the African continent is possible to organize a large all-African center? How possible is that?
Yes, thank you very much for this question. To organize this, we organize under United Nations and also in collaboration with African Union. It is very important to involve for this entity to work together. And why we involve African Union Commission? Because when we work with African Union, we get the political involvement of all African countries. And we define the strategic framework as UN to focus on key areas where African countries need support. There are several. Some will find the response on this Africa Center of Research and Coordination of on cybersecurity. We have seen a lot of challenge in Africa for this cert. I think less than 40% of the African countries have a cert. It's very minimum compared to 55 countries. And some of these certs also are not very well functional. They need this cooperation is very important between African countries first for the cert to cooperate. I can give some key example in the continent where there are a lot of improvement. Ethiopia can be a good example where we can learn a lot. They develop their cert. They have this institute, AI Institute, National Artificial Intelligence Institute, the first one at the government level. And you can learn a lot about all these trade issues faced by African country. And I think for the center, the collaboration with Russia is very critical. If we can have, I repeat again, if we can collaborate on this. Also, there is an issue where Russia can help Africa. It is the private sector. As you know, you can't imagine in Africa, 80% of the business sector operate without any provision on cybersecurity. That it is very risky for the investment in the private sector because there is any instrument on cybersecurity. And I think by this study tour or this learning, this exchange experience, the private sector can take into consideration the importance of this cyber security. Of course, it is a cost, but it will be benefit at long term, not at short term. And our private sector should change the ways they're thinking to invest more on cybersecurity tools. It is also the capacity building you highlight in terms of collaboration. It is something very important. And also the cyber diplomacy again is a very, very important. We need collaboration on cyber diplomacy and on the norms. It is some point I would like to highlight. And what we learn from the continent, maybe at the country level they can find more, but we do the analysis every year. And also we have a report, annual report on cybersecurity in Africa. And we can collaborate with any entity here to get some information, to do the analysis, to aggregate some data, and we'll see what's happened in the future. Last year, it was focused on, we call it Africa Cybersecurity Landscape, and every year we focus on one thematic. And if we have a private sector who may interest by that, we can see how we can work together. Thank you very much.
Ну, раз речь зашла по...
Well, now they're talking about the private sector in the African continent, then perhaps one should hear the position of Cameroon.
Merci beaucoup une fois de plus.
Thank you very much once again. One has to understand that the cyberspace is the space where there are no physical or geographic boundaries. The question about cybersecurity is always a global question. Therefore, of course, there's collaboration between different countries to find answers to common questions. the Center of Attack Information Monitoring, such as CERT, should, of course, be part of a well-organized collaboration between countries. It's not even a matter of subject of discussion. It's obvious. The problem is that when we go for some collaboration, we don't have criteria about common language, about common goals. And unless you have that, you're not going to have results from this collaboration. Always to solve problems at the level of collaboration, such a situation, you should be able to understand each other from the very start, to select the common language, to identify the goals, to identify which information we're going to exchange, what things we're going to discuss, because without these definitions, there always will be some misunderstanding. And quite often, governments are involved in problems with cyber threats, and some misunderstandings can come up, where this threat came from, and so on. So it's a delicate subject. You need to understand everything very well, and then it'll give you grounds to expect better results from this collaboration. Of course, collaboration in this area is an absolute must, and without this collaboration, everyone is going to have a separate war being fought in the ground, and there won't be a result without this collaboration. Our time, unfortunately, is running up. So, as a brief summary, firstly, I would like to thank you a lot, because for me personally, our today's discussion has been extremely useful. For me, it was very important to understand what's happening on your side, what kind of troubles you're facing. And for myself, I got a very clear understanding that in spite of some differences in technologies being applied, we surely have things where we would be interested to have a look at what you've experienced, and you could also use the experience that positive technologies have, and Russia in general. The second point that I thought really important was that we surely understand the importance of information exchange and education as a tool to achieve information security in the future. Of course, on the way to this information exchange, there are a lot of things to do, agreements to make, and obstacles to overcome, economic and political. But I think that the situation in the world that is now developing will lead us at some point in time to the inevitability of this exchange on a global scale, and the experience that one country is getting in capacity building will have to be shared with colleagues from other countries. So I think this is going to be the way the process will develop in the future. And in conclusion, I'd like to thank our audience that has been receiving our speakers today so cordially and warmly, and also many thanks to our colleagues once again for joining us, having found the time to travel here and speak here, and I assure that it was extremely important for the audience. Thank you.